Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's the big homie Erik T from the People Station 107 JAMZ, and I'm just doing a little quick video right here. I got a friend of mine, Miss Cheryl Winston. What's going on, Cheryl?
Hey, Erik, I'm good. How are you
Good.
doing?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thank you very much.
You're out there in the industry. You deal with artists all the time. Can we say where you are?
Oh, yeah, we can say you are. I'm Senior National Director for Capitol Records currently.
Cool. That means she's working with Neo and Kim and Tyrese and The Dream, Sam Smith, a little bit of everybody.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now,
one thing being in music, of course, we're hip hop and R&B, but music is music, and we have a lot of artists that come to us and they want to know they can't just go to a label and get signed. Obviously, what is it that what is it that attracts what prompts your attention to an artist if you see something out there?
Well, let me be clear by saying my motto is I don't make them, I break them. That's my job. So I've been doing promotions for quite a while with Mercury Records, Polygram, Jive, Motown, and Virgin, and then Capitol for the last 11 years.
Okay.
So a lot of times it's not quite true that labels won't look and want to sign an artist. It just depends, special situations.
Yeah.
Because there are artists getting signed directly through labels. But a lot of times they are looking for an artist that's pretty much self-contained, someone who's writing, producing. Writing is where the money is. That's what you want to do.
Behind the scenes.
Performing on stage is really nice, but you really want to be a songwriter. Okay? As a lot of the songwriting artists that are out there.
Okay.
But so that helps because you have a producer, you have a songwriter, you have an artist, you have a talent, someone that helps the label not incur a lot of expense when you just have one person who sings and you have to get other producers involved or songwriters and shopping songs, and that also happens as well. But
yeah, and it's funny. I guess I kind of noticed that from your label because obviously Kim is self-contained, Neo is self-contained. I'm sure
R. Kelly was the first. R. Kelly was self-contained when I was with Jive, and who better of an example than, in spite of whatever people think or feel as a creative genius, R. Kelly, in writing and producing and being a great artist.
Now, we know Lake Charles is pretty much kind of a small area. The next biggest one would probably be Baton Rouge, maybe New Orleans, but do labels actually look in small areas? Is it better for them to do social media promotion? Is that something that could possibly get them discovered, or should they just look at going to the next big city over?
Social media has played a really vital role in terms of just artists being discovered. I think people who are social media savvy really can find that they can get exposed not only to, because you have the support of new fans, you have the support of all the A&R people who are really not out there scouting as much as they probably should be, and they're scouting via website. So there are websites out there that a lot of young artists are going to, the poster stuff outside of just the norm of YouTube page or Vine and just some of the other ones, but there are websites and people do, and A&R people are looking on those sites.
Do you have a lot of folks running up on you, especially once they find that you work with Capitol? Have you had a lot of folks running up on you wanting to audition right in front of you?
Well, not so much audition, but we all get a lot of CDs.
Okay.
And let me just say again, if you're going to do a CD presentation, do a real CD presentation. Let's do something really professional. Let's make sure that it's not in your cousin's basement or
not
in
written
the
with
bathroom,
a Sharpie.
not written with a Sharpie, well typed out, a bio, and do a whole press kit. That's impressive, and when you're presenting it to someone. I don't work in A&R. I'm very clear to people when they say that. However, we are close to A&R people, and I always say that, I can listen. I'm not the determining factor, but I know if it sounds great, of course we can pass it on.
Cool. All right. So now, do you guys, back in the day, it seemed like everybody wanted another one of this or another one of that. Do labels still look for another Lil Wayne, or do they push originality more so than anything?
I think there's a lot of cookie cutting in terms of when people are looking for artists. It just seems that way. So that's why it's very refreshing when you can have an artist to sort of break out in their own style. So you've got a John Legend who goes off his own style, a Sam Smith or something just comes out from the UK, and a different kind of sound. But I think in general it just seems that there's a lot of cookie cutting.
Okay.
You know, let's find that next top artist that sounds and looks similar to.
And I know we've been talking. Obviously, we've kind of touched on a lot of stuff, but I don't want to keep you long because
Oh, it's okay.
Cheryl has got to go. But I mean, if someone came up to you right now, they're pretty much working a 9 to 5 because obviously you can't just stop working and
No.
and think you're gonna
They'll
it's just
quit
gonna
their
happen
day
for you.
job.
What are some like building blocks? What are some things that they could initiate, start? I mean, they're talented. They are good singers or they're good rappers, and they might have access to great music. But what are some building blocks to really kind
I
of get
think
going?
building blocks again. I think being creative and using your social media. I think being creative and doing something a little bit out of the box and not the norm. If you're writing, I think you can do original songs a lot of times. I think networking is very important. I think it's important to find out where there are legitimate industry functions, conferences, so that you get to know people. Because I say in this industry, it's still about who you know.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on conferences? Do you feel like they pay off?
There are some conferences. It pays off because there are programmers or executives or people who are really sharing some of the knowledge.
Okay.
And wherever you go, there's always something. There's a jewel hidden somewhere in there. And it's up to you to decide what you want to extract from that and then to execute upon that. A lot of people go places and they're looking and, oh, I can sing and I can do X, Y, and Z. And then they come away and they do absolutely nothing.
That's true. And
Yeah.
we've had a lot of people that do that, who get a lot of good music, and they'll have one big song, and then you don't hear anything else from them again. And it seems like a lot of artists feel if you get that one song, that's it. Now, also, once they sign, is that the work? Should they continue promoting, even if they get signed? A lot of artists expect for the labels to do everything for them. They feel like once I've signed the dotted line, I don't have to do anything else.
Oh, no, absolutely not. In fact, the labels are hoping that you will continue to do some things because the more you do for yourself, actually before even coming to a label and presenting yourself to a label, you should really do the work. A lot of labels are now going into label services deals where they have someone, it's almost a la carte, and you can choose whether or not you want distribution or someone to handle your marketing or someone to handle your promotions.
Okay.
And a lot of independent labels are just out here really grinding. They're doing their own promotions. They're continuing to have their own street team. They have agents that are getting shows and booking and showing there's some presence. And so when you come to a label, you have more to offer.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now, well, like I said, Capital Man is the home of a lot of great artists. While I've got it here, I'm going to give her a chance to tell you guys what to expect. We got a hot summer on the way. I know you got a lot of big artists that we need to be looking out for.
Okay, so if I could talk about Capitol Records,
Please
whom
do.
I'm excited about. My our senior VP, Azim Rashid, came into the house, and we are totally on fire, along with our executives that have given us great music. So Neo has a project out that we're excited about. We have Kim. Kim's on the road touring, of course. There is Avant has a new project that's coming this summer.
Like Avant.
Tyrese has a new project, actually, that just dropped today, so we're looking forward to him in the next week or so. We have Mary J. Blige is signed to the label. We just signed Vivian Green. She has a new project.
Okay.
And so it's going to be a great hot summer for us.
So when people say it's not a lot of good R&B out there, that's a lie. It's a
No,
lot of great
Johnny
R&B.
Gill has a project that's through the Caroline label, which is one of our label service our partners. Game Changer is changing the game. So R&B is back, and you should look for Capitol Records.
Cheryl Winston, Capitol Records. Thank you, Cheryl, for
Thank you.
hanging. I just had a few questions. I don't do music, but if I did, then I would definitely be blowing up Cheryl's phone. So
Let me say, this is just a disclaimer that I do not speak on behalf of Capitol Records.
There you go. No, and I don't speak on 107 JAMZ.
30 plus years in the industry.
That's it. That's what you need. You guys need a lot of knowledge. We don't know it all, so it's good to have people that know
And there's a
things.
wealth of knowledge out there. People just have to be dedicated and really listen and look for it. The internet is full of disinformation, how-to books, which give you really valuable information, and networking, following up, being thorough. A lot of times we just want the information. We're not grateful for where we get it from.
Yeah.
And we should always appreciate that.
Well, thank you guys. Like I said, artists, if you're serious, you just heard a little bit. This is not everything. Obviously, you got to do the work yourself, and who knows what could happen. Cheryl could be promoting you the next time around. So
Absolutely.
there you go. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. It's the People Station 107 Jams on 107jams.com.